So we, at this point, at this time, do not have an indication that we are going to impose a statewide masking mandate from the state perspective. And so we are pointing to that CDC guidance that recommends universal masking in K through 12. Each of those school districts then would have the option of imposing a masking mandate under their authorities.
And then with regards to whether or not the legal means exist at the school level, Senator Martin, which was the second part of your question, I think we would have to check with our legal team, but I just want to make sure I understand the question correctly. If a school decides to implement a mandate for face coverings in the school, is there a legal precedence that allows them to do that as a school board? Is that the question that's being asked?
Right. I mean, every action that is taken was taken under, because emergency declaration allows them to take certain actions. The General Assembly allows them in the scope of, in the school code and legislation, what they're allowed to there is no existing. So when I hear, to date, I've heard of I think I've heard of the Philadelphia School District, I've heard of maybe school districts in Allegheny, and I've heard of school districts, I think in Montgomery County, who are already telling their parents that they have to come back to school fully masked. But my question is, you know, I know we're pointing to CDC, and the CDC is only recommending, but putting all that aside, even though they're just recommendations, where is the constitutional authority or statutory authority for local entities to do so? Because if it's not outlined in law, what's to stop them, just like when we talked about the vaccines? There are a list of things that schools are allowed to require for kids to attend school. They have to have certain shots when they're younger, whatever it might be. But if it doesn't exist, how is that even enforceable, one? And two, what kind of precedent does that set if there is no emergency declaration and there's no orders from the Secretary of Health? And I think from a legal perspective, if I was a school board member or if I was a local government official, you know, what's to stop a local government then, even though there's no emergency, to start shutting down businesses again on their own? Is that making sense what I'm saying? So absolutely. Until there's constitutional or statutory clarity, I just don't see how what's being imposed by locals are enforceable, or quite frankly, are they opening themselves up to potential litigation over saying you don't have that authority? If I could just, I appreciate everyone's very passionate here, and I definitely respect that. But whether you're for or against or what, if we can just allow folks to get on the record here, I'd appreciate that. So I definitely, I know you said you'd like to go back and
absolutely.